When my biological parents found me, they brought along the fake daughter and son. My mom said, rather guiltily, when you went missing, your dad and I were devastated. So we adopted a brother, and your dad adopted a sister. Lucy, they're your siblings now, okay? I looked at their eerily similar faces, and with an innocent look said of course we're siblings. After all, my brother looks just like mom, and my sister like dad. I'm the only one who looks like both. As soon as I said that, everyone's faces changed. I chuckled to myself. Fake son, fake daughter. Just a cover for their own illegitimate kids. In my past life, I tried to live quietly but was driven mad by the fake siblings, ending up kicked out onto the streets by my parents, dying tragically. This time, they wouldn't get away so easily. These evenly matched parents and scheming kids were frantic, trying to keep calm. Eventually, Candy broke the silence. Sister, you just got home. You must be tired. She tried to steer the conversation elsewhere, pulling my hand. I didn't resist. I just wanted to plant seeds of doubt in their minds. Before I got solid footing, stirring more chaos wouldn't do me any good. On the second-floor landing, she opened a door, showing a spacious room. This is the biggest room. It was mine, but since you're back, it's yours. I heard you have nightmares often, so I made you a pillow with calming herbs. Oh, and I had the room newly renovated. Hope you like it. She smiled sweetly, lightly shaking the fake son John's arm. He didn't look pleased. Candy worked nights on that pillow. You better appreciate it, he said, disgruntled. Really? It's just herbs to cause hallucinations in the pillow. I'd already endured many restless nights, and even mental illness back then. But this time I gladly accepted it. Thanks, sis. The room's too big though. I'm not used to it. Candy suddenly looked nervous. You can't. I cut her off, holding the pillow. Thanks for the pillow. I'll ask Mom and Dad to arrange the room. I headed downstairs. In my last life, before fully losing my mind, I had started feeling unwell. No telling what surprises that room might hold. I wouldn't sleep in Candy's remodeled room again. Downstairs, my parents asked warmly, Lucy, do you like your new room? I smiled. The room's nice, but I don't want to take away my sister's things. The little storage room is fine once tidied up. I've been away so long I can't afford gifts. But this pillow from my sister, I'd like to pass on to you. The pillow full of herbs, I handed to them. This life, they hadn't yet lost faith in me. Profoundly moved, they held on to me. Lucy, it's our fault you were taken by traffickers. You've suffered all these years. Here's a card with 3 million. Buy whatever you want. We'll make it up to you. My mom also removed her beloved necklace and lovingly placed it on me. This is my favorite necklace, Lucy. At tomorrow's party, wear it so everyone knows our daughter's back. Candy and John, looking at the card and necklace, had jealousy and malice in their eyes. Sister, I gifted that to you. Mom and Dad need different herbs. I'll make them some, Candy said, trying to backtrack. I chuckled. Dad's busy and Mom has insomnia. The herbs could help them. If you're worried, Mom, Dad, maybe get the pillow checked. In case. Candy cut in, nervous. That's not needed. It's harmless even if no use. I said quickly, then use it. Don't you like my gift? They hugged tighter. Lucy, we'll hold on to it each night. Lucy, don't stay in a storage room. Take the guest room in the south wing. Candy's face darkened. Silent now. John also closed his mouth after a look from her. My mom added, cooler than in the past, take your sister to her room. Dress her for the party tomorrow. Candy hesitated. Mom, what's wrong? Did I upset you? Or do you not want me now that she's back? I raised a brow. Seemed my words sowed doubt in Mom about Candy. As expected, Mom just laughed. Of course not. We'll care for you always. You were 4 when we adopted you, but never speak of your real parents. You remember them? Candy froze. Dad jumped in. She was too young to remember. Now take Lucy to her room. Candy left unnoticed. Mom plucked a few strands of her hair. In Candy's room, she handed me a dress. Sis, this is the gown I had custom made before. It's got 5 diamonds and is really beautiful. You should try it on. The gown was indeed gorgeous. It had a lace design, looked elegant and luxurious, sparkling all over. It really suited the identity of the group's true heiress. But this very dress made me a laughingstock all over town just the day after coming back home. My parents' guilt quickly turned into anger after the embarrassment. This time, I'm gonna make them dig their own graves. After changing, she took me to our parents. Mom, Dad, don't I have good taste? They looked me over, nodding. Not bad, not bad. All blue diamonds. Lucy looks elegant and proper in it. Candy's smile curled a little. Sis, these diamonds are pretty valuable. Maybe take them off and save it for tomorrow? Following her back to the room, I changed and she naturally took the gown back. This gown needs careful care. It's a complicated process. To make sure everything goes well tomorrow, better keep it with me for now. I didn't resist and just smiled at her. Thanks, Candy. But if you gave me the dress, what will you wear tomorrow? She pointed to a light blue gown in her closet. Tomorrow's your welcome party, sis. I wouldn't want to steal your spotlight. I tilted my head, playing innocent. But this one doesn't look that expensive. Won't Mom and Dad feel embarrassed if it's too plain? She looked annoyed for a second, her voice carrying a hint of pride. Don't be fooled by its simplicity. It's not cheap at all, at least over 2 mil. If she doesn't want the attention, why wear a gown worth so much? I smirked. Well, that's a relief. Loves grabbing the spotlight. This time I'll let her have her fill. In the afternoon, John took me to the mall, half-heartedly picked up some essentials. Getting a new phone, he rushed me to a jewelry store. Picked out some simple pieces, he handed me a form to sign. I glanced at it. What's this? He impatiently pushed me. Buying jewelry needs your signature. You can't understand it anyway. Let's not waste time. Pretending to feel wronged, I signed my name. Seen many who seek trouble, but never someone so eager. That night I called the director. Yeah, thanks for your concern. My parents treat me well. They said thanks for taking care of me all these years. So they donated $3 million to the orphanage. Just wired it over. The director was overwhelmed with gratitude. Took several minutes before hanging up. The night was quiet. I could even hear my mom talking on the phone in the living room. Though she tried hard to hide it, I felt her anger. No wonder he's so good to Candy. Turns out she's his real daughter. My family helped him so much, how dare he wrong me? Fine, he dares to raise his bastard under my nose. He's gonna regret it. The next morning, guests started arriving. To celebrate their real daughter's return, Dad even called over Uncle who'd separated from the family long ago. In the hall, everyone held champagne, waiting for my appearance. After an hour of Candy fixing me up, she finally escorted me out. So pretty, definitely the real daughter. Even though she's been away for years, her presence rivals the lady when she was young. Everyone smiled out of courtesy, politely complimenting my parents. They cheerfully exchanged insincere courtesies. But as I moved to the center, a huge light beamed down on me, revealing the gown's full splendor. But I could see the smiles around freeze, then turn into mockery. Even if she hasn't been seen for years, didn't expect them to dress her in fake diamonds. Right? They're not short on money, why make her wear fakes? Since Ken took over the group, it's been all about appearances. Guess they're struggling, forced to use fake stones for show? Should have passed it to Uncle after all. And that necklace, isn't it just glass? Kept at home, Candy knows better. See, she's dressed appropriately, not over the top, didn't shame the family. Rumors flew. My parents' faces turned ugly. They stared hard at the diamonds on my dress, looking even more upset. Yep, all fake diamonds, obvious at a glance. But Candy knows I barely saw clean rice, let alone distinguish real diamonds. So she brazenly switched out the real stones. Just like last time, amid everyone's scoffs, my parents walked over, lowering their voices to question Candy. What's going on? My gemstone necklace? She put on a pitiful face. Mom, Dad, no clue what happened. After helping Sis change yesterday, she's the one who kept the gown. As for the necklace, Sis didn't let me touch it. Counting down 3, John approached looking disappointed. Sis, I warned you. Don't sell the diamonds or Mom's necklace. He produced a sale receipt, showing 10 blue diamonds and a gemstone necklace sold by me for $5 million. Right below, stamped with the jewelry store's emblem and my signature. Sis, so careless, we know it's been tough for you, but you're home now. We'll make it up to you. No need to sell family jewels. And Mom's necklace, a family heirloom. Thank goodness I bought it back. He handed the necklace to my mom. She took a careful look, sighed in relief, then glared at me coldly. Now, with undeniable evidence, they couldn't hold back anymore. Their disappointed eyes carried a fiery anger. They tried to lower their voices, but it still boomed. Lucy, why did you do this? If you needed money, you could have asked us. Do you know how embarrassing your petty thieving is for us? It's really disgraceful. Go to your room and think about what you've done. The loud voice echoed, and several people started laughing. Though she was born into wealth, it seems she wasn't cut out for it. Used to being at the bottom, even wearing royal clothes, she couldn't look the part. Don't let her wear those royal robes. I'm afraid she'd sell them too. Wow, it shows that genes really can't beat the environment. The silent uncle suddenly burst out laughing. With my brother's genes, what good offspring could he have? If Dad hadn't been biased back then, the company wouldn't have gone downhill in his hands. My dad turned red with anger and glared at Uncle. Mom impatiently gave John a look. John's smug smile flashed for a second before he spoke softly. Sis, let me take you back to your room. He then bowed apologetically to everyone. Sorry, my sister's had a tough time outside. When she came back, we arranged for her to have a checkup. The doctor said her psychological issues are severe. So there are reasons for her actions. I apologized to everyone for my sister, to Mom and Dad too. The atmosphere eased a bit, and Uncle proudly said, though John is just adopted, he has such grace. Isn't he better than their own kids? The topic shifted to John as people praised his achievements, like the whole incident never happened. I have a mental illness, and everything I've done, every disgrace brought to the family, now had a perfect excuse. Of course, Mom and Dad wouldn't miss this great opportunity. Yes, we are getting her treated. John grew more pleased, gripping my hand tightly. He wanted to drag me back to the room, just like last time. After the party, Mom and Dad would spread the word, claiming I had a mental illness. I'd lose sleep to their angry scoldings for a month straight. Afterwards, I'd be framed, leading to Mom and Dad's growing resentment, and even disdain for me. In the end, I'd doubt myself under the influence of some drugs, going mad, and dying with no peace. I wasn't going through that pain again. Luckily, I was ready this time. Suddenly, an unexpected camera crew showed up. Excuse me, which one is MS? Lucy, we're from the TV station, invited by the orphanage director, to interview you about your donation yesterday. Society needs kind people like you. We hope to spread the word about your good deed. Your kindness deserves to be known. Everyone looked completely bewildered. It wasn't until the reporter explained that they found out I donated $3 million to the orphanage last night. After a moment of confusion, my parents were both surprised and thrilled as they grabbed the microphone. Actually, what the guest said earlier was true. The company is pretty much struggling now, despite its strong appearance. They wouldn't miss any chance to make a comeback. Yes, as soon as we heard about the orphanage's tough conditions, we urged her to donate. We also lost a daughter once, and we want all kids to live well. We actually thought it over a while ago, and planned to donate 10% of the company's annual profit to welfare institutions. The two of them went on in front of the media, sounding so genuine, completely unaware that the adopted son and daughter looked extremely upset. When they finally seemed satisfied, they turned to me with a gratified look in their eyes, full of hints. Lucy is as kind-hearted as us. The diamonds she sold were probably for charity too. Seeing I didn't react, my parents' eyes hinted even more eagerly. But I switched it up. Nope, I never did those things. Then, I pulled out my phone and played a video for everyone. It showed John tricking me into signing a paper at the jewelry store. I had just gotten my phone and found filming pretty cool, so I kept it rolling. Of course, it also captured my brother coaxing me to sign that contract. When I finished, I looked at John puzzled. Brother, it's already hard enough for me to be back. Why are you doing this to me? At this point, what wasn't clear? Everyone glared at the panicked John with disdain. I really thought he was magnanimous, but who knew he had such deep schemes? An adopted son pushing the biological daughter like this. Doesn't he even know his place? So young and already so devious. What will he grow up to be? He paused for a moment, furrowed his brows, and seemed frantic. No, I didn't. It wasn't like that. Lucy's the schemer here. Otherwise, how'd she record it perfectly? This video is cut. But he couldn't provide any evidence. leaving every rebuttal weak and powerless. A crisp, loud slap landed on John's face. How could you set up your sister? My dad was beyond furious, his eyes filled with disgust. John looked dazed from the hit, his head hung low. Nobody knew what he was thinking. Reporters snapped photos of John like crazy, but nobody was paying any attention to Candy. And I'm not about to let her efforts to look nice go to waste. Looking at the camera, I said again, I'm not like Candy, who can comfortably wear expensive dresses, throw on a fur coat, and always be mom and dad's little princess. Maybe that's why my brother looks down on me. My sad words made the reporters shift their focus to Candy. Her dress seemed plain, but under the lights it glowed brilliantly. Her expression changed slightly. My dad, not wanting Candy's reputation tarnished, slapped John hard across the face. What right do you have to pick on Lucy? You embarrassment. Mom, feeling heartbroken, tried to protect John. Kids make mistakes sometimes, stop hitting him, won't you? Dad lowered his voice, sounding fierce. A kid? Whose kid? Wendy. I ran a paternity test for you and this bastard. He's your real son. We don't have affection. I can overlook your past before marriage. But if this illegitimate child dares to mess with me and disrupt our home, he leaves me no choice. Mom gritted her teeth and glared at him. You think I don't know? I have the paternity test for you and Candy too. If you can have kids with some random woman, why can't I? If you dare lay a hand on John, don't think Candy will have it easy. Dad stared at her intensely, but didn't make another move. He just turned to the guests with a smile that lacked any warmth. Seems like everyone's tired. We won't keep you any longer. The guests left naturally. Amidst the chaos, Dad fell onto the sofa, rubbing his temples. John stood there silently, shooting me cold glances now and then. Candy watched everyone's expressions carefully, but when she met Mom's cold gaze, she suddenly trembled. Out of nowhere, Mom spoke up. This isn't all John's fault. Candy was responsible for Lucy's dress. She can't wash her hands of this. Candy looked shocked. No, Mom, I didn't know anything. Mom smirked coldly. Yesterday, when you were changing clothes, John wasn't even there. How else could he have done so much in such a short time? If not under your instruction. Candy, don't lie to me. You're still too green for that. In my past life, when I was falsely accused, they didn't once analyze the ins and outs to clear my name. Truth be told, they love their illegitimate child, the one raised by their side, more. As long as I'm not involved, they'll naturally attack each other for their illegitimate offspring. Candy's pupils shrank, clearly frightened by Mom's icy stance. But she still put on a pitiful face, crying out, I didn't do it. It was all brother. He was afraid of Lucy coming back and competing for the inheritance, so he did it. John, shocked and betrayed, had a flicker of disbelief in his eyes. But before he could speak, slap. Mom smacked Candy hard. Keep your mouth shut. As long as I'm here, you don't have the right to speak. Candy covered her face, bursting into tears. Dad shattered a cup on the coffee table, glaring at Mom. You don't have the right to cause a scene here either. Now take that bastard and get out. Mom laughed coldly. You pathetic moocher. If not for you begging my parents to have me marry you, you would have never been in charge of the company, let alone live here. You're the one who should leave. The two of them had a huge argument while their illegitimate kids were scared speechless. Watching them tear each other apart, I felt at ease. Finally, Mom couldn't take it anymore and stormed out with John. I looked at Dad, his face dark as stone, and acted curious. Actually, John's kind of tied to our family, isn't he? He might look a lot like Mom, but his eyes and mouth, they're exactly like yours. My little unintentional reminder seemed to turn a light on for him. He sprang up from the sofa, his eyes cold enough to kill. That night, I heard him on the balcony making a call. Yeah, check it out. See if she stayed in touch with Mike when the media reported she was overseas. I heard Mike hasn't left yet. Keep an eye on the hotel he's staying at. And I secretly called Mom. Mom, are you able to sleep okay out there? Dad's throwing a fit, saying he's gonna get people to investigate Mike. Who's Mike? Mom stuttered. Lucy, behave yourself at home. Don't listen to your dad's nonsense. I have to go. The events from the party blew up online overnight. John's face and reputation were completely wiped out, with netizens tearing him apart. And thanks to me, My parents regained a bit of their dignity, chalking the mess up to slight parental oversights and John's poor nature. Dad hasn't been around much, but when we do cross paths, he gives me these approving looks. If it weren't for you, we'd all be in trouble now. In a few days, as things settled down, our company hit the trending charts again. Dad had a lawyer draft a will, approved by the board. Upon his death, all his assets and shares get divided equally between me and Candy. That day my mom, who I'd not seen in a week, stormed back in anger. I don't agree. Everything you have comes from my family. Giving it to Lucy is one thing, but don't even think about giving it to that bastard. Dad chuckled coldly. That's my money. What's it to you? No matter what, that bastard isn't getting another dime from me. He then whipped out his phone, waving it at Mom. The video on it was crisp, showing her with the second uncle. It even had her planning to drug Dad. Wendy, I underestimated you. You actually thought about drugging me to murder your own husband? If I hand this video over to the police, you know what happens next. So, get out of here quietly, or not only will your reputation be ruined, but your family won't be spared either. My mom's expression grew darker and darker, and finally, she reluctantly gritted her teeth. Fine, you win. As she left, Candy smugly opened the door for her. Goodbye, Mom. Oh, I mean Aunt. Have a nice trip. Just remember, don't mess with me again. Otherwise, Dad's got the video. My mom shot her a fierce glare. I could almost feel the tension, and was in awe at how bold Candy was to provoke a woman who contemplated killing her own husband. I quietly went back to my room and called one of John's friends. The 50 grand has been wired. Make sure you remind him that Mom doesn't own much stock, but Dad is a major shareholder. There's no blood relation between him and Dad, so he should just humble himself before Candy. It's a small price to pay compared to the money at stake. Swallow your pride for your affair partner, easy choice, right? My parents divorced, and Mom left with nothing, in exchange for Dad deleting all the video and photos. Now regarding Dad's will, Mom doesn't have a say anymore. Candy and I were officially named as the group's heirs. But the day after this news broke, the company was in the spotlight again. Photos of Candy at a party were blown up online. Her expensive clothes and jewelry were priced out, with everyone questioning her motives for dressing up at an event for my sister. My dad wasn't pleased with the online comments, so Candy tried to clear things up online herself. But her few words were no match for my army of trolls. Just look at Candy's flamboyant lifestyle. If her parents are so supposedly virtuous and public-spirited, how'd they raise a kid like this? I went to school with her. She's not just wasteful, she's also a bully. Her family's wealth kept her actions under wraps. Besides the one child not raised in that home, are any of them good people? Are you really willing to buy what they're selling? I wouldn't. In my past life, I was the one being slammed by netizens. I'd spend countless nights drowning in tears over their malicious words. The more I tried to clarify myself, the more vicious the online hostility became. Eventually, old photos of me picking up bottles near an orphanage and wolfing down hard bread flooded the internet. They labeled me a trash heiress, and the pressure ultimately drove me insane. After I died, I learned it was all orchestrated by Candy. Now I plan to pay her back double. I've got people digging up dirt on Candy all over the place. Thankfully, her dark heart left plenty of dirt to uncover. She can't explain it away, and the more she tries, the angrier the netizens get. It even took a toll on the company's stock market. My dad hired some trolls too, but they couldn't control the narrative. It seemed like there was a bigger force stirring the pot. Of course, even if Mom left with nothing, she's still a Chen family heiress. She's got the funds to hire her own trolls. Finally, Dad lost his patience. After a harsh scolding, he cut off Candy's card. Candy got furious and pointed a finger at me. Lucy, this is all you're doing, right? Why would you do this to me? I was so nice to you. I gave you a big room and everything. I just laughed bitterly. Nice. If the big room is so good, why didn't you take it? And those dresses and diamonds with you, why did John sell them? You're fooling yourself, Candy. Stop lying to even yourself. Her eyes suddenly went cold. She stopped acting crazy and glared at me. You won't win. I'm Dad's favorite child. You'll never surpass me. Mom died giving birth to me, at the age Dad loved her most. For a few days, Candy didn't make any moves against me. She just spent her time holding her mom's photo, crying to Dad. If Mom were here, maybe I wouldn't have to struggle so hard. Dad, I don't want you to hate me. I can leave if that makes you happier. At first, Dad wasn't moved. Rare moments of softening hardened quickly by the company's declining value. But when Candy got a high fever from food I cooked, diagnosed as food poisoning, Dad's gaze at me changed and his compassion for her returned. We're family. We still need to help each other. I pretended I didn't catch the hint, so I hired more online trolls, quietly aided by Mom's efforts to smear Dad and Candy. Meanwhile, thanks to support from Mom's family, news of John and heiress Lily's engagement spread across town. The two families created quite the buzz, standing strong and united. Everyone knows about my parents' unhappy split, so most people sided with the Chun family. Seeing the declining state of his company, Ken finally crumbled under pressure. He wobbled and eventually collapsed. As Candy panicked, I promptly contacted our family doctor. A few injections later, Dad regained consciousness. Sir, have you been using too much fragrance recently? Your symptoms seem like poisoning. Dad gasped. Poisoning? No wonder I've been feeling so out of it lately. Is Wendy behind this? But didn't she fail to drug me? The doctor, sticking to the lines I prepped, said, your symptoms suggest recent poisoning. We should find the source first to treat it properly. Noticing Candy's guilty look, I pretended to recall something. Doctor, why don't you check around our house? I remember only having fragrance in Mom's perfumes, cosmetics, and some incense. Oh, and the pillow Candy gifted. Candy shrieked, no you can't. Dad turned and stared at her suspiciously. Realizing her mistake, she forced an awkward smile. Dad, you must be tired. Feeling off doesn't equal being poisoned, right? Take a break, you'll feel better. Before my dad could even think about it, I snapped back. We're just looking for something, not a big deal. Why so panicked, sis? What are you trying to hide? Before she could say more, my dad's face fell. Doctor, go grab the cushion. Half an hour later, the doctor came back with the cushion in hand, standing in front of my dad. Sir, it's definitely the cushion. It's loaded with hallucinogenic spices that Western medicine won't catch easily. Since you've used it for so long, it might not be easy to treat. I was shocked. Sis, how could you put poison in the cushion? She shook her head. No, I didn't do it. It was you, it was your doing. I replied, you made it yourself. It'll be obvious if someone messed with it. Dad checked it carefully. There were no signs of it being tampered with. His eyes were full of rage. For the sake of your mom, I always spoiled you, thinking you were pure and kind. Didn't expect you to be so cruel. Poisoning your own dad. She started crying. Dad, I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted it was meant for my sister. She gave it to you. I sneered. So, you wanted to harm me? Even if you didn't intend to hurt Dad, you had countless chances to take the cushion away or warn him. Why didn't you? You wanted to let things be and let Dad get poisoned, huh? With him gone, you could inherit everything? That hit my dad hard. He slapped her, gritting his teeth. Get out. I never want to see you again. Not a penny of my money will go to you. Candy, clutching her face, screamed. Don't forget, my mom died giving you a child. If not for you, I wouldn't be an illegitimate daughter, hidden away forever. Why do you get to kick me out? Dad slapped her again and yelled, get out. If I knew your mom would give birth to the likes of you, I wouldn't care if she died 100 times. She suddenly laughed maliciously, saying, only I know the formula for those spices. Without it, you can't detox. Give me the money, or prepare to die. Seeing Dad start to waver, I said, Dad, maybe you should play it soft with her to get the antidote. Play it soft. As a father, apologize to the daughter who tried to kill him? In front of his other daughter? A man already mentally unstable couldn't accept it. His expression darkened, staring at Candy hard. We'll see who ends on the streets, or who you poison to death first. Let's just wait and see. No need to wait and see. That night, after seeing her make a call, she rushed out. An hour later, a friend of mine installed by John sent me a video. It showed Candy and John embracing. Sis, I was just scared, so I blamed you. Didn't pick up your calls because things at home were chaotic. I feared Dad would get angry. It's not that I don't want to share the shares with you. But the old man won't give me the inheritance now. John tried to comfort. We both got played by Lucy. How could I blame you? Without her, my mom wouldn't be left with nothing, nor would I be forced to marry that 200-pound pig Lily to get company shares. Don't worry. Once we get both families backing, dealing with her will be easy. After watching it, I was nauseated. I sneakily accessed my dad's computer, finding my mom and uncle's video. Yes, the one dad promised mom he'd delete. It was all stored safely on that computer. I immediately uploaded all the videos online. Mom's online reputation tanked, laughed at as the modern-day adulteress, while Candy and John's ugly romance was unbearable to the audience. It was sickening. In my previous life, after my parents went on vacation, I discovered them in the library and vomited heavily. To keep their secret, they smothered me in a bathtub for hours, suffocating me repeatedly. I wanted no more pain, so I ended my own life. This time, I ripped apart their facade, letting everyone see their filth. Soon, Lily called off the engagement, threatening to ruin my mom and John. The mother and son became the laughingstock of the city. Then, I called my mom, explaining what had happened lately. Mom, I'm scared. Will Candy hurt me? If she doesn't give the antidote, will Dad really die? Mom was silent for a while, but I could sense her suppressed excitement. Relax, Lucy. You're my real daughter. I won't leave you hanging. Ken, that bastard, promised to delete those videos but still stabbed me in the back. Now I have nothing left, so I don't fear anything. I'll have them destroyed, killed. I cried out loud. But if Dad dies, won't he leave the inheritance to Candy? Then I'm left with nothing. By the way, Candy took the sports car to find brother. Can we let him talk her out of it? Candy died in a car crash. Due to brake failure, it was my mom who did it. I reported her, and she was sent straight to jail, with no chance of getting out. Dad's condition was worsening, and he was losing his mind. But I kept looking after him. He grew to trust me unconditionally, handing over everything to me. The board just called mentioning that with your current state, if there's no will, by law everything would go to John and me jointly. Oh, by the way, Uncle just called. He said if you were to die, John's share would be his. He said in this life you still lost. Man, how could Uncle be like this? I heard John is even calling him Dad now. My dad was so mad he started making these raspy sounds. And he finally told me to find a lawyer. I knew then, the will I wanted was in place. Later, one late night, my dad spent a lot of money to have someone kidnap John. He personally cut chunks of meat off John's body in the basement, and then turned himself in. Haha, if I'm not doing well, then he damn well couldn't leave some bastard to discuss me either. Not long after, he was sent to a psychiatric hospital. 3 months later, he jumped to his death from the psychiatric hospital. I stood not far away, and saw him splattered into mush on the ground. Finally, they're all dead. No one can get in my way anymore. The end.